I hate her. Not like I hate Nicola Sturgeon or Rose West. I hate her on a cellular level. Okay? Dreaming of the day when she's made to parade naked through the streets of every town in Britain while crowds chant, "Shame! Shame!" and throw lumps of excrement at her. Everyone my age thinks exactly the same way about her. What makes me despair is that younger people, especially girls, think she's pretty cool. And when it comes on top, if I get too familiar, if you don't understand what I'm saying, Ella and Lauren are my gauge here. Do you know what I mean by when it came on top? Do you know what that means? Right. Okay. So when he got in trouble, he wrote, "Oh dear, I'd rather put my foot in it." In a column I wrote about Meghan, I feel made a clumsy reference to a scene in the Game of Thrones. And this has gone down rather badly with a great many people. I'm horrified. I've caused so much hurt, and I shall be more careful in future. Joe Baldwin Trott is a former police officer, now business mentor and life coach. Morning to you.
Morning, Eddie.
Well, I tell you, when we finish this conversation, if you're a life coach, you'd earn a lot of money out of me because I need fixing up. Mentally, physically, spiritually. You could have you wouldn't have any other clients if you had me. I tell you what, you'd be nice, as we say in Hackney. Tell me what you make of it. I'll put as many questions as I can put forward. I've read the thing that's upset so many. More complaints about one article than were made about hundreds that were written throughout 2021. What's your take on this?
Well, Eddie, you're saying you need some help. Jeremy Clarkson needs help. He really does. He really does. It's revolting. It's disgusting. It's exactly what Nicola Sturgeon has sort of commented on. But I pity him. It's wrong. It absolutely is. And why people like him who are allowed to just spout what comes from their mouth in the paper, why have female editors allowed that to go through into print, just says how the thirst for the juice, the reactionary press, but it does incite all sorts of things. These people have incredible followings. Most of London want him as mayor, and someone like him is. I think. Firstly, I'd like to offer that I don't sense he really cares. This is a person who went to boarding school and had suicide thoughts afterwards. He was so messed up with it. He is someone who needs the most help, Eddie, more than you.
He's the guy who punched one of the assistant producers because they got his order wrong or something, didn't he? And then he went on to get even more money at another station on another platform on the basis of the fact that he's bankable. Isn't he just using the same sense of humour that Boris Johnson used when he talked about Muslim women being like bank robbers, pickaninnies with watermelon smiles? It's a type of humour. Now, I hate the idea of censorship, but where would the line be? Do you think what he wrote is insightful?
Yes, I do, because it goes beyond. It goes beyond, even some of his comments, because it is, and people are. A lot of people watch a lot of programs. A lot of, I've dealt with crime, obviously, that has been insightful, and a lot of crime is step-by-step progression into something.
Okay.
And she is, would we be so passionate about this if she was white? I think partly, but maybe not quite so much. But again, someone like him has a strong point of reference. And this isn't necessarily conscious either. It's a subconscious influence.
No, you're not going to do that. You're not going to do that. That bit of it, I've got to take issue with. Let's have a little friendly fight over that. So I absolutely believe in unconscious, subconscious bias. I've been telling them here for 20 years, and then I get sent on a course which tells me what I I've been telling them. You like what you like. And what happens is you don't say, I don't see it, I am not prejudiced, because that blanks it out. And so what you do is you acknowledge what you like and then you try to deal with it. I accept that. But after all these times, after reading that this country is not institutionally racist, after seeing what happened in COVID with people who were poor, after understanding that black women are 4 times likely to die in childbirth, after seeing everything, because you're clever, and so are they. But that's what private education is supposed to do. You're not telling me that somebody like him writes something like this, not knowing, unless it is satire. And if it is satire, I'm trying to get a definition of it. You want to have a go, Joe?
No, sorry, I meant the other, from the other perspective. But I can see you're passionate about this, Eddie, and it's so important to get this clear. What I didn't mean from his perspective, I meant from people that might then go out and
act on it. I'm so sorry.
That's okay, but clearly this is something you need another show on, Eddie, because obviously it's a really, really powerful point, and it can't be used as a cop-out. Absolutely, I totally agree with what you learn on that course. We do attach to what we like and what we relate to, and absolutely. But no, what concerns me, which is what happens with a lot of misogyny, and absolutely, I totally agree with you. It's that for me, being, I am white, but I'm a woman. I've suffered incredible discrimination.
Never say I am white, but never say anything but I don't like it. You have empathy, you have understanding, and I do. I'm a black guy who does a show for everybody. So the color, we haven't got to do that. Because if we do it just from a woman's point of view, then the color might impact it more. But as a guy who wants to be an ally, who has made mistakes in my life when I thought I was an ally, and I have not been, I can't understand how this gets through without somebody seeing all the things that you've told me.
Well, they must do. There's too much intelligence. This isn't a blasé. Oh, it slipped through the net. This is clever people making clever decisions that have clever financial gain. It's really that simple. Boris Johnson used this tactic all the time.
But he made it to the top of politics, and he for a very long time, until he did make it to the top of politics, was singularly the most popular politician that we had. Let me give you this, as you've been brilliant. You've not done your job, because you've made me have more questions now than before you came on. But I'm not sure that's a bad thing in the context of this. Right, satire. Right, so I'm going to give you the definition in the dictionary, and you can help me. Right, I'll give you the last word. The use of humor, irony, and exaggeration or ridicule to expose and criticize people's stupidity or vices, particularly in the context of contemporary politics. Was it satire?
No. Definitely.
Should there be, and if so, what, a consequence for somebody crossing what I imagine is this invisible line that is subjective?
There should be, but coming back to the first point, that absolutely, but there should be a better system and a better accountability from, that he wasn't allowed to publish this. This is, again, I know it's back to media, but yes, there should be, and there should be better legislation that prevents this. But ultimately, when there's money concerned, I just see that people like Clarkson feed on it. They've made careers from it, but it's not right. It's not right, and it does concern me. And I can bet there will be things created now as a result of this. There will be messages. And I'd just like to add, sorry, just before we finish, I heard an MP spoke quite derogatory about Meghan Markle last week on BBC Sussex Radio. And I commented because his lack of compassion for them overall, ultimately, this is all kind of started from what is going on for these two people that have made a decision, and they've decided to share what they're going through on a top level, as we can in the day that we live. And the MP for Sussex who came through, P's and P's. I was so shocked by his reaction to her.
Thank you so much for talking to me, and we'll start working on all that other stuff next year. Appreciate you coming onto the show very much indeed, Joe Baldwin. 0800 731 2000. What is it about that Clarkson story? I'll be fascinated to hear your thoughts.